What up, Buzz? You tapped in? Okay, Goose, you tapped in too? All right, Chicago, y'all tapped in? All right, boys, let's crack 'em. Feel like Mike in the fourth with the ball in my hands and I'm taking a shot. I'm the king in the madhouse on Madison, whether I make it or not. Now the crowd going crazy, they watching the play and I'm watching the clock. Got my shot in the air and the buzzer go off and I'm watching it drop. This team did things, MJ shot City 6 rings. D-Rose too big, too fast, too strong, history. And we good on that, put Jilla on the track and we good on wax. 3, 2, 1, everybody say Bulls on tap, Bulls on tap. Our city pretty and gritty, Benny the bull in the crowd getting hyper and litty. Me, I'm so drippy, it's slippery, nothing offends me. Banners on banners, we winners. We got the stats in the news, go and subscribe. Hang out with Buzzy and Goose, tapping with us, we the truth. Jilla just murdered the booth.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bulls on Tap. I'm your boy Buzz. I'm joined by my dude Goose, and we are here to talk about a Bulls win. The third win in a row since we've seen you last time. They have won 3 games in a row, all without Zach LaVine, and they're going the wrong way. But before we start talking about it, be sure you're going on tapsportsnet.com for our Chicago sports literature and podcasting needs. Following us on Twitter at Bulls on Tap and on Tap Sportsnet or X, whatever you call it. Follow Goose at Goose on Tap. Follow me at Buzz on Tap. Please, if you are on X, hit the follow button. We're like almost to 2,000 follows, so that'd be really cool. Or don't and be a dick. Go to the YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel because that's awesome too. I want to get that 2K too. Yo, Goose, we were gone for a little bit. We took a long weekend. Okay, the Bulls had
to be fair. We did say that we were not going to record Saturday night.
Yeah, I own that right.
We put it out there. So
yeah, we did.
Although Kobe White had possibly the game of his career, and we most definitely should have been live talking about that game. We now get to talk about a 3-game win streak in another fairly good game from Kobe, and just, I guess, a much more balanced approach from this team. Stacey pointed it out during the game. The Bulls were a little bit slow in the first half, did kind of turn up the pace in the ball movement in the second and pulled away and kind of didn't ever really look back. But
I felt like this was their most sloppy game they've played in 3 wins in a row that they've had, especially coming in against a Charlotte team without LaMelo Ball. I mean, team decimated by injuries. Gordon Hayward in your lineup. Miles Bridges trying to work his way back in. Scary Terry tucking up.
To be fair, Gordon Hayward didn't look too bad tonight.
No, he looked good. And guess what? He's on an expiring.
Hey,
keep it in mind. Keep it in mind. Kobe White made history tonight, though, too. He has hit 3 or more 3-pointers in 9 straight games, Chicago Bulls record, I guess. So that's very, very good for Kobe White. He's been on such a tear. He's been playing real good. He went 6 for 16 and, 38 minutes for Kobe again. Another big minute night for Kobe.
He had a double-double. He grabbed 10 boards.
No, they only gave him 9.
What?
I got that on NBA or ESPN.com. 19 and 9. He was a +6, though.
You know what? That's not cool because the NBA official app is telling me 19 and 10. 19, 10, 4 and 1.
Well, I would trust the NBA official app over ESPN. It's just convenience for me is why that's pulled up here.
No, I got you. I'm going to give Kobe White the double-double, even if it's like 9.5. If one app is giving him the double-double, Kobe White had a fucking double-double tonight. I don't care.
All right, I'm down. We'll say you got a double-double. What do you think about All-Star Alex Caruso? How are you feeling about see, this is what we do here, and I just want to and I love Caruso, and you know that he's on my top favorite Bulls on the team right now. Not a hard list to be on top of, but he's on top of it. I love Alex Caruso. If they had a event at the All-Star game, is we're gonna go all out, actual ball, I want him in it, right? All-Star Alex Caruso. Let's pump the brakes, Bulls fans. Pump the brakes on that. We got to average at least 15 points to talk about
one, our team sucks. 2, the All-Star game is for superstar caliber players.
Right. Well, this is what we do to convince ourselves we're okay.
As entertaining as it would be to see Caruso running around and being the only player trying during an All-Star game, it's not going to happen. He would have to get traded to a team that was a legitimate number 1 seed in their conference type thing. To ever get an All-Star bid. And that's unfortunate because a guy like him deserves everything because he gives everything. But in all reality, All-Star game is for superstars, not all defensive players. He should probably get his honors at the end of the year again, as long as he plays enough games to qualify.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. DeRozan had a good game, 8 for 20, 29 points, 6 boards, 3 assists. And the reason I'm like just not touting about that is just because, like I said, in the beginning, I'm happy they are playing well. I'm happy we're seeing some development. We're going to get into some of that in a minute, but
are you happy though?
Yeah, I need DeRozan to keep doing this to convince people that he will give them a good push into the playoffs. So hopefully that this continues, this kind of play from him. Vooch, I'm already convinced we're stuck with until the last year of his contract. So, but he played a good game too. 8 for 17, 2 for 3 from downtown. He has 20 points, 12 boards.
What do you think? Obviously, this is the elephant in the room for almost everybody.
Yeah.
What do you think this says to other teams about Zach LaVine's value?
Oh my God!
Are the Bulls playing better because the cancer has been removed from the situation? There's not questions. Everybody's on the same page. Or does Zach LaVine just genuinely contribute to losing basketball?
Okay, so that's like a twofold question though, because like with your last part of the question,
so you think it's both. You think the Bulls are playing better because he's been removed, in terms of the situational issues that were going on in the team, not really being on the same page together, not playing for each other, not being one. With Zach removed from the equation, we now have the only win streak of the season, and we have our first 3-game win streak of the season.
Okay.
Like, is it just the situation, or is it Zach's style of play? Or other teams right to not be blowing up AK's phone and offering anything really worth value for a $40 million player who seemingly hasn't won in his career? And I have been one of the biggest Zach defenders out there. Situationally drafted to Minnesota, obviously looked at behind Andrew Wiggins, plays on a torn ACL for 8 minutes under Tibbs. Comes to Chicago in the beginning of our rebuild. So situationally, Zach has always kind of gotten the shit end of the stick. But it's kind of feeling more and more like with his removal from this team, the personal nature of it, of just not doing your job and being on the same page as your team that was literally built around you.
How do you build a team around somebody who, when he's so clearly taking out of the offense moves a lot smoother? This comes down to an IQ thing. And I'm not saying Zach's not a smart guy. He's way fucking richer than me, so he's way smarter than me. Throwing that out there for everybody right now. All right.
I've seen some pretty dumb rich people. But.
Yeah, wait, man. I'm trying to get millions. He got it. I don't. Smarter than me. All right. So I'll just let you know right now. Anyway, I will say this about Zach LaVine. I think that he's a good basketball player. I think he has a ton of talent. I've said that before a lot. They're winning because I feel like I don't feel like there's anybody on this team that if they take a shot, they need to defend why they took the shot. If that makes sense to you. Like they're in a free-flowing offense. Whoever has that opportunity, whoever has that look, they're going to take it. They don't have to worry about, Zach getting his touches. He's going to chuck the ball up 25 times. I don't know if that's what it is. I don't think that's it either. I'm just saying I don't know if it's a mental thing for his teammates. I don't know if it's him stopping everything because he's thinking too much. We've seen him do it in 2021. That's why I don't take this away from him. Like, and you know me, I'm not a big fan of him. I've seen him play within the offense of how it's supposed to go. What happened? So is it a mental thing with the team and him? Is it a mental thing with just him? I have no idea, but I will tell you this to answer your question. Yes, they're playing better without him. Yes, it's very fucking clear. And no, whatever your opinion is, it does not matter because they are winning without him. So that's what they're doing, and they're doing it convincingly. Like they are playing. I mean, yeah, they turned the ball over 16 times tonight, but like other than that, dude, they're taking decent shots. They are taking more threes than they did, even though they got 25 tonight for 48%. Very nice percentage from them, but they're just playing a more free-flowing style. And I don't know if it's because you have dogs that keep coming in and getting like more minutes here that are disrupting, the other team. Like I would assume it was a dog. He's coming in, he's trying to fucking attack you right when Caruso's coming out. You don't get a second to breathe. Obviously, Caruso's a way better defender as of right now, but you'd give Ayo credit as being a defender.
He's a big, lengthy, tenacious.
You have another perimeter defender in Kobe White. You're getting attacked on the perimeters, and then Ayo and Kobe could push the ball in transition. They're not looking to stop and to see what they could. I mean, these guys are attacking you constantly. So I don't know if it has to do with that. They are playing better without Zach. A lot of things are showing. I mean, my God, is he getting deep into the bag on these rotations? I mean, dude, everybody appeared tonight except Terry Taylor. 4 of Acme's draft picks appeared tonight. Dalen Terry, Julian Phillips, Patrick Williams, and Ayo Dosunmu. You know, like there's 4 of their draft picks that were contributing tonight.
That's got to be what's exciting for me in this scenario with Zach out is there is room for the plethora of guards that we have on this bench to steal a couple minutes. And the fact that Billy was able to steal some minutes for guys like Julian Phillips and Dalen Terry is nice to see given the direction that we're likely to be headed. But the whole Zach conundrum is weird because it feels good to win. Obviously, we're Bulls fans. I
want to win, but I don't want to win at the same time.
I mean, obviously, we really don't get a say. If we had a say, we'd prefer to just lose out and get to the draft already. But since we have to watch, obviously, we're going to enjoy good basketball when we get it. And this stretch of games has been good. But the message that it's sending around the league just feels like, man, between Zach's antics, between the Bulls actually playing better without him, we ain't gonna get jack for dude.
And that's the thing is if he was still trying to ball out, and this is when we were talking a couple of 2 episodes ago, I believe it was, like if he was actually to ball out during that and we were still losing, he holds and sustains value because they're gonna make the excuse that the team is so bad that he's not able to get over that hurdle. He needs to join some better teammates, a better organization, a better situation, right? But now he quit on them and then is out with foot soreness and the team takes off. It's a bad look. No matter how you want to, again, there's so many people, the defenders on social media. That's why I hate social media so much. It's like all the defenders are like, oh no, it's not his fault. They're or it's not because he's out that they're winning. It's a schedule and they're not expecting, the other team's not expecting it. It's like, where's the credit? It's like you can't give credit. Right now, you can't shit on Acme, and I have to swallow some words here. Listen, I've been making fun of every draft pick they've had since they got here, all right? But I will tell you this. Julian Phillips being a second-round pick, it's only 6 minutes. But you know what, Goose? It's 6 minutes for a second-round rookie on a team that does want to be competitive, on a team that is playing in the NBA. I mean, that's pretty fucking impressive. He's able to get in there and do something. And, he looks like he belongs on the court. Dalen Terry's last 2 appearances, and I have shit on that kid. I mean, I've been very critical of Dalen Terry. He got on the court. He don't look too bad. He's using his length on the perimeter. He's trying to disrupt the passing lane. He's doing the little things when he's making the most out of his minutes, even though he had goose eggs. Just watch the game and what he did today. Deflected a ball. So that's the ball. Hey, I'll take it. You're getting in there, and that was when Charlotte, or it was like the first or second quarter? It was one of the 2.
Second.
Yeah, he deflected it. I'm giving credit where credit's due here, but I'm taking credit away from Zach because I literally watched this guy fucking kill his trade value. I would not. I'm being honest with you. If you're asking me as an opposite, like as a opposing GM, and you call me as Arturas Karnisovas and be like, "Hey, man, I see you got a couple bad contracts that are expiring, and you're on the brink of competing. I'd like to acquire Zach LaVine." I'd fucking laugh at you immediately. I would. And people are going to laugh at me about that when he goes to the Lakers and he does something big next to LeBron and AD. And everybody's like, oh, see? No shit. He's playing next to AD and LeBron. But the guy is a number 1, is not a number 1. He's not a number 2. And I learned that when he quit on the team. So he could just, at this point, dude. Seriously, I've been wanting to say this so long about him. I mean, we've had these talks after the episodes.
I guess for me, I'm more convinced on the fact that it's the situation. That it is the
play itself.
The fact that he wants out the way that he wants out, that he's not giving the effort, that's why this team looks better. Hank pointed out in our comments, the team just seems to communicate that much better on the floor currently. And it's because they've all got the same objective. Defensively would be the side where I wouldn't say, I think Zach's, he's bad. He's a bad defender.
But the metrics, if you dive deep down,
I don't give a shit what the metrics say when I watch the game, and when the game is on the line and it matters, Zach LaVine is not there on the defensive end.
It's a basketball IQ problem.
Teammates.
He can barely inbound the ball.
So no, I mean, I'm not going to go that far with it. But
I will.
No, I do think the communication is better without Zach, and I do think the goal being apparent and the team being on the same page is the biggest factor, because I still find it hard to believe that a guy that can drop 50 as effortlessly as Zach doesn't have star value in this league, and there has to be a team and a fit out there for him. And as we've touched on,
it's going to be Detroit or something. It's going to be a team that remains in the bottom if it's not the Lakers. That's the thing here. That's the kind of superstar he is.
Well, you know what? I need Adam Silver to get on the phone and to tell these bottom feeder teams that are holding on to picks and young assets that aren't ever going to be anything for their team to say, hey, you need a Zach LaVine. He'll sell tickets for you. The Bulls need young assets because we need the Bulls to be good. So get on the phone, Mr. Silver. Let's get Zach LaVine out of here so Bulls fans can at least enjoy wins a little bit more, because at least right now for me, as much as I've enjoyed what my eyes are seeing on the television these last few games, I'm watching that value of Zach LaVine go down even further, which I didn't think was possible at this point of the season when he's giving his list of desired destinations in Miami, Philly, and LA, the three teams that I want absolutely nothing from, not even your expiring contracts. So given that that's the situation, I'm not really enjoying this as much as I should, but I am still enjoying it because the Kobe White success story has been phenomenal in having to step up in Zach's absence.
What do you think about the Knicks and DeRozan? What do you think about that? But I mean, have you gotten to look around and fuck around in there? I saw a mock trade earlier. I want to know what you think about it. And I'm just kind of spitballing. 2 first-round picks were involved. I didn't know if there was any protections on it. It was, like I said, it was a mock trade. But it had R.J. Barrett and, Isaiah Hartenstein. And then it was for DeRozan and Caruso. Thoughts on that? 2 first-round picks attached to that? Would you kick the tires on it, or is it I
guess I don't watch enough of RJ. I'm still
he's wildly inconsistent.
Yeah, no, there's games where you're like, dude could be a future all-star, and then there's games where you're like, oh my god, should this guy even be in a rotation?
Right.
So I guess that's what's tough with that for me there. Obviously, DeMar isn't expiring. Unless a team like the Warriors was willing to part with a Kuminga or something like that. Somebody's still on a rookie contract that you might be able to put some stock in potential and value into. I don't know. That doesn't sound that bad to me. Caruso is the part that hurts in there for me. If you were just talking DeRozan, I would have shipped it in a second. But DeRozan, Caruso, Tibbs is going to have the grittiest team in the league.
I just came up with a great question when you were saying that. Goose, who do you need to move first if you're the Chicago Bulls? Who do you need to move first? Because if you're gonna ask me, I'm saying it hurts me the most, but it's Caruso because I'm afraid the guy's gonna hurt himself.
Yeah, no, that's valid. We've had this conversation for the last 2 months.
Is it for you? Your preference? Mine is Caruso because
that was where the frustration came in. I don't know if we even got to talk about it live on the air when the reports were coming out that AK was essentially rejecting phone calls about anyone but Zach LaVine.
But Zach, right? Yeah.
But that was his priority, and it's like, no, with where this team is at, one, you're scaring the hell out of fans with the idea that you're going to retool this roster around 36-year-old Vucevic and DeMar, with no young, I guess, if you could try to sell Kobe White as a potential all-star in the future. But, that's not a vision that fans are really going to be sold on. It's not something that we really want to hear. So when that message came out, I was like, what do you mean? No, you talk to everybody and anybody about anybody on this roster right now, besides maybe the young guys. I get if you're telling teams hey, the young talent on this team, we've already put time into them. Going into the process that we're about to enter, we are going to, see how our development works out with them. So for the most part, they're somewhat untouchable in certain ways, but every other veteran piece on this roster could be had. So I think Caruso makes sense, but for me, it's who can you get the most value for and just get it over with.
Yeah.
I just want to see the dominoes start falling. And obviously December 15th is still 9 days away before half the league's newly signed players will be available. And then we've got to wait till January 15th before the rest of them become eligible to be traded. So we've got another month and 9 days. Zach's only reported to be out for the week. So, like, how weird does this situation get? Now your team's playing great. Now Zach LaVine's like, oh, my right foot's not sore. You haven't got me traded yet, so I'm going to play basketball.
Man, I wouldn't play him.
Well, no, but to your point, you're winning basketball games and you're risking injuring potentially your best trade asset.
But what if he gets hurt too? I know his value's low, but you still get something.
Zach.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, not if it's a serious injury. Then you got a seriously injured $40 million a year player for the next 3 or 4 years.
That's true.
That also doesn't want to be here. That's really the only way Zach's value could get lower is if he goes out in the court and injures himself. Because at this point, he's already proven that, well, I don't want to be here, so this team has no value for me. And I've got a destination of 3 teams that are contenders that don't have assets for me. And those are the only teams I'm going to play for. And you see how I'm acting in a situation I don't want to play. So, no, the only thing that could hurt Zach's value further would be an injury that keeps him out for any length of time.
Our next game, Goose, is against the San Antonio Spurs. And that's going to take place on Friday. Brother, the Spurs have not won a game since November 2nd. This shit with them and the Pistons, you're not going to tell me Greg Popovich can't get a fucking win out of it. There's some dogs over here in San Antonio. San Antonio's, they're not a bad fucking team.
Is Dougie Buckets?
Well, they're a very, very bad team. They're a very bad team, but they're not bad enough to fucking not win in a month.
Is Dougie Buckets still over there?
Yeah, he got 16 minutes tonight. They lost, I'm sorry, he didn't get 16 minutes tonight. I'm looking at their last win. They lost to the Timberwolves, though. Timberwolves are 16-4. One of the biggest surprises in the NBA. Making that jump, you know what I mean? Figuring out putting Cat and Rudy together, Anthony.
Well, maybe Zach LaVine really was the problem in Minnesota all along. Cat is a winning basketball player.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Obviously, anything can happen in the NBA. Wow, the Spurs were 3-2 at one time, and they are now.
Well, yeah, no, there was all those jokes and memes that they just had to play the Suns every game of the year.
Yeah, now they're 3-17. That's hysterically bad.
3-2. Now you're 3. How do you?
What? Tanking. It's fuck. They're tanking better.
But why?
What do you mean? Why? Go get another. Go put a fucking point guard next to him and a dog like Collier or something. Collier. Go put him next to him. Tyrese Proctor, another big point
Silver,
guard.
do something. Nobody wants Zach LaVine and the team that just got Victor Wembanyama.
You know what's so nuts?
Popovich is tanking. Do something.
Did I tell you about this? I know, again, I always bring it up because I've been so obsessed with it lately. But after I get done, like when I start a franchise, I start like a new one every 5 days because I keep building new teams because I'm a freaking dork. But San Antonio keeps trading for Zach in my game. I would like to speak that into existence.
I'd be down.
I'd like that to happen.
You know, you said they're coming to Chicago. They're coming to town. Just take them back home with you. It's fine. Just leave me like Devin Vassell, some matching salad.
They're going to be in San Antonio.
Okay, so we're bringing Zach to you.
Yeah, we're bringing Zach there. Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
There we go. That's a good one. I like it.
Merry Christmas.
It's crazy how the fan base turned on a once loved guy. You know, this city pulled for Zach LaVine to be the guy for a very, very long time.
We pulled for him so hard that the front office built a team around him.
I don't know if I did, but yes.
Plus, we know he wasn't in your top 5. You and Joe Cowley might be like 2 out of like 10 people in Bulls Nation that are actually like thrilled by this outcome.
Oh yeah,
like you're just like, yeah, I knew this was coming. I've talked about it for a while. I'm not surprised by any of this. And it's just like, Zach, why could you?
But in fairness, I wanted him to be good because I am sick of sucking.
Any player that puts on your jersey, like
right, that's what I mean.
Grayson Allen could put on a Bulls jersey, and I would reluctantly have to hope for his success.
Me too. It's about the name on the front, not on the back, brother. That's what it's about. You know, that's what you play for. You play for the legacy. All right, San Antonio, next game, man. You got any closing or thoughts at all.
I just want to see Sub-Zero keep mauling. It's what's making Bulls basketball enjoyable for me right now. Something about just Kobe White's enthusiasm for the game, his just energy in general, his general want for his teammates to succeed and be great. He's just a really easy guy to root for. So during this stretch, I'm just trying to enjoy the Kobe White ride as much as possible because he makes me happy to watch him succeed. And I want to see that continue. And with that said, I hope Zach's right foot is sore until he's traded.
All right. Couple closing thoughts for me. One will probably surprise you. First of all, I'd like to see the young guys get a little bit more pull against San Antonio. We know what kind of team they are. We've been seeing how they've been performing. Give them a little bit of heavier minutes. Don't be playing Vooch or DeRozan 36 minutes if you don't have to. Even Caruso, he shouldn't break 25 against San Antonio. Give the young guys a little bit to play here. Second, very surprising. Patrick Williams, I thought, played a decent game tonight. He had 3 turnovers that were pretty, but
Jaylen Brown disease.
Yeah. He had 9 boards. One of them was tough as shit. He got most of his boards in the second half when Charlotte was making their little comeback. I'd like to see him get a little bit more aggressive. I've seen a couple flashes of him doing things that I saw kind of like in his rookie year in the rotation. So let's give him some opportunities, give him more touches in these next couple of games, and I'll be
and trade DeMar, and he'll get even more touches. So
100%. And I love DeMar. I want to prefer. I love DeMar.
And honestly, thinking back to that trade that you proposed, somebody that allows us not to have to see Vooch. I'm not a giant fan of Hartenstein, but that's not. I guess in a way it makes Vooch expendable if you're going full rebuild route.
Yeah.
But Kobe, RJ, Pat, that's not something that I'd be too disappointed with in terms of a starting rebuild point. Obviously RJ and Kobe came out of the same draft, so they're kind of in that same age group. So if that's the, going to be the veterans on your squad of your rebuild here, that's not something that I would hate.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate that either. I'm very curious to see what happens by December 15th, or even if we have to wait till January 15th. But that's all I got, Goose. I don't have anything else, man. So I think we're gonna get on out of here. Hope the Bulls win against San Antonio or lose. Our win is.
I was gonna say I hope the Spurs get a win against.
I want young guys getting some experience out here on the court, man. I want to see Dalen Terry. I can't believe I'm saying that. I want to see Julian Phillips. I want to see these guys on the court more than 9 combined minutes.
I want to see Dalen Terry.
I can't believe it, but I do. I want to see these young guys get a little bit of run, because when you see the young guys get run, you see people playing hard because they're playing for fucking their job or they're playing for future jobs. So we want to see them go hard.
And I don't want next season confused at whether or not Dalen Terry is going to get his rookie contract extension. So
they better decline that. All right. So they just declined the team option. I just want to see him play because I think he can tank command. All right, we'll be back on Friday after the Bulls take on the San Antonio Spurs. You know where to follow us. You know what to do. Please follow us on X. If you don't, I'm going to be pissed. I'm serious. Do it. Let's go, Bulls.